Hi, I'm Amy Wertheim, and I'm from Wertheim's Gardens in Atlanta, Illinois. I have the only certified herb and spice, not urban, but herb and spice farm in Logan County, and one of 22 throughout the state of Illinois. We have a plethora of different herbs and spices that we grow there. We have about 128 different products that we make between the fresh products, the dried herbs, and then what we make into what we call value-added products, which we're going to be going over today. So we're going to be covering the herb salts, herb butters, and then I'm going to give you my secret recipe that I use when I used to travel and compete on the barbecue circuit. You know that one you watch on TV? That's it. And I was a big winner. So this will help you be able to barbecue and do some really good stuff at home. So I have my able-bodied assistant here today. Say hi. It's because of this. We're still, in and out of a cast for the next four more months. So thank you for helping me. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Here, you always,
Hi,
speak.
and I'm Sarah with Homegrown Food Co-op. So
All right.
glad to be here.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our herb salts. So anything that you grow that you would like to preserve, not just from drying, but to use in another fashion, you can make into a salt. But you always want to use your fresh products. So in your kit, you had Thai basil, sage, parsley, and some others. I'm going to do the sage because I'm trying to get ahead with my sage salt because we're going to use it around the Thanksgiving time. So although it is September, it's always good to plan ahead because those killing frosts are going to be coming soon and you're going to lose all of your product. So let me get this out here for you. What I need you to do is, and I wrapped these because I picked these yesterday. I wrapped them in just some wet paper towel, and you cannot tell that they were not picked. And it's super strong with the smell. I know it's really potent. This is Bergatin sage, if anybody was wondering. It's not your common. This gets really big. These are some smaller leaves. It'll get about, gosh, a 1.5 feet tall. And it's just incredibly potent. This is about the only sage I can find that the ground squirrels that we have a plethora of doesn't eat. So with this, I'm going to throw this in the trash real quick. We don't need that. All right, so Sarah, I'm talking about stuff. I just need you to come along and just pinch everything off. And we're not using that yet. And you're going to throw them into there. Okay, so there you go.
All of them?
Yep, all of them. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these other things you can do with the sage. So one of my favorite things to eat when I was a kid in my grandfather's had a little Fiat, and you could dig around there. There are always snacks, but the best thing was sage chips. So these are what I call nature's potato chips. So if you take these, and you're going to wash them off, in the water, and while they're a little damp with water, put a little. You're going to throw it into some oil that you've heated up to 350 degrees. It's going to take about 22 seconds, and that's it to cook. Literally, when you throw it in, it's going to be bubbling, and as soon as it stops bubbling and cooking, you're going to pull them out, put a little seasoning salt on, and literally, this is your potato chip right here. And you can do it with any of the sages. Now, butterfly sage tends to be a little bit more, tender. So you got to be careful when you're taking those out, but they all have different flavors. And I'm going to tell you, when I make these, they disappear quicker than anything. So this is one of the things the kids just love to eat. We also, so I'm taking some of these off here, and you can see I have the full leaves. We do dry these, and we do sell the sage for cooking. So we do dry these, and we sell them individually and then in bags of them dried up. This is so incredible today. Oh my gosh, it is unbelievable. So how are we doing there? We're getting pretty full. Good.
You want
Okay.
2 small leaves?
Yes. Let me see what we got here. I want to kind of push it in this where we are. So normally what you would do with a regular recipe is I make 1 cup of my herb leaves. So rosemary, and you want to really push that down into that 1 cup. So you're going to fill it. It's going to be like full instantaneously. No, you need to press it down like you're doing brown sugar, get it in there as tight as you can, and then give it a few extra. That's how much you're going to want. We're using a smaller food processor today instead of the large one. But if you're doing it with that cup, it's always 3-to-1. So you're using that coarse sea salt. We use the Pacific sea salt, the coarse. With me today, though, I just got this new one in. We've been experimenting with it. You guys got the good stuff. I have the, this is going to work stuff. It's still the Pacific Blue, but I have it in the micrograin. So what we're finding is I actually can use less salt because the micrograin has more in it because the coarse salt. And so that works really well to not have to use as much. So anyway, so we got that. Trying to look see what we have there. I think this will be just a little bit. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you put this in here, and then we're gonna refill it again from this. So what you have at home, you have that amount that you, whoa, sweetie.
Oh, not yet.
You're just gonna dump it in.
Dump it?
Yeah, we don't need to like spread it around. Just throw that puppy in there. Yeah. Let's not like be delicate about it. Just chip it in. There you go. If you have, so my, I have 3 different food processors at home. One I don't like. It's very snotty. It has this big hole in the middle. And if you're just throwing things in, half of it ends up down the bottom. Or if you fill it too full, the liquid goes out, makes a mess. I know y'all know the one we're talking about. This one has an ADB hill, so it's cool. And then the other one is a nice one. You can do whatever you want. It makes no I now have a new favorite. So let's go ahead and put the lid on here. And you can do this at home. You're going to throw it in your food processor. These little mini ones, you can pick them up anywhere, whether it be, at, Myers, Walmart, any place that has like different kitchen places. Do you guys have kitchen items here?
I know. No,
well, that's a bummer.
not
That would be a fun thing to get. All
Yeah.
kinds of kitchen gadget tools, fun stuff. It doesn't matter where you go, Kohl's, whatever. Yeah. Thrift stores. Oh, yes, that's great. Thrift stores are like the best place to go. Yes. Oh, so this ratio here, so I'm going to say we put probably about 1/3 cup in there. So we're going to double that. So we want to put 2/3 cup salt in there. I believe at home that should work out back to what you have. But the real ratio that we always use is 1 cup of herbs to 3 cups of coarse sea salt. If you have the fine. Okay. All right. So give that a little, you're going to, there we go. Cleaned it all up. Got it? All right. Okay. Let me see what we're doing here. And I wasn't measuring because I forgot my measure stuff. All right. Okay. Let's add a little bit more salt just to give it a little bit more. Yeah, just do another full one. I'm going to tell you, here's the thing. You want this to be green. Okay. So your sea salt is white, and you're going to have this work so that it ends up being green. When we have people out who are helping us, each different herb is going to take a different amount of time, and it's going to matter. It'll depend on how you get mixed up, but you want to make sure that all the salt is turned in, and you can kind of see it's getting green down here. All right, so let's go ahead and finish that up so it can get down in. I want to shake it just a little bit. All right, give it a whirl. There we go.
Okay.
Give me another little shake because we about have them all. It's full. If you got this literally full. There you go. All right, we have one who chooses not to
One.
participate appropriately. Pick me. All right, you can stay and drive. Wait. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it off of there and we're going to dump it on a tray like this. I have parchment paper down here on my cookie sheet. Make sure you have a cookie sheet that has sides because this will tend to go flying everywhere when you bump it accidentally. So this is like wet sand, except it doesn't get all over you like at the beach. It's awesome. Out
Sounds great.
like that. And because this isn't a whole lot, this will be dry by tomorrow. When we do it, we use the larger food processor and I make 6 different piles. So essentially it's like 18 cups worth of salt. We spread it out. Within 2 days, we come back. So it's going to get like a hard crust on it, which is really fun because then you're going to come back and you're going to crumble it all up and spread it out some more. Let it sit a little bit like for another day and then it's done and it's ready. So what you can do is I have a little fun little ditty thing. Look at me knowing how I pack stuff up. You actually can then put it in a jar like this, put a little lid on it, and then your salt will keep forever. It's no different than if you were taking salt and you were putting it on meat to preserve it like they did back in the olden days. It's no different than that. This will never few grains of rice in there, and that just helps in case there's any moisture that might get in there. But this is going to stay just like this. So tomorrow we'll come back and we'll crumble it up. It has a little heart and we'll let it sit for one more day and then it's ready to pack it up and you're good to go forever.
Great.
So this is really good on a turkey rubbed on it under the skin, which we're going to combine with the next thing that we're making, which is our herb butters. Okay, come back. All right. All right. Okay. So for our herb butters, this is gonna, you're messy.
I know.
Yes. We just need 1 clove of garlic here. Okay. This is silly for me to even be touching any kind of tool with sharp edges. We're going to put 2 in there just because I'm feeling like adventurous.
Got it.
You want to cut that end off. He's hard. Nobody wants to eat like a hard, thing. So cut him off there. All right. And I'm going to clean up my mess. I'm really into like clean work surfaces. I know it's a quirk of mine. Throw that away. Okay. Oh, stinker. All right. And we'll need this. And we're going to put just a pinch of our sea salt. You should have a little bit left. And we're just going to put a little pinch in there. Okay. Grind up our garlic. Now you can go ahead and cut it in pieces to kind of help you be able to grind it up, but it's better to do it from the whole. Yes. Sure. So we had a question about what type of tool we're using here. This is a mortar and pestle. So essentially this is granite. They come in marble and a couple other like rocks. It's a bowl and then it has a tool. So this is the mortar, this is the mortar, this is the pestle, and it grinds it all up. So you can break anything down as fine as you want. Now, if you don't have this, what you can do is take your garlic, chop it up in little pieces, and then come back, use the back of a spoon. That'll work the same way like in a cereal bowl. It'll work perfect for you. All right. Okay, you got that? Now we're going to add our parsley. So it's September. That means that it's starting to get cool at night. That also means that your black swallowtail caterpillars are going to be attacking your parsley. They've abandoned your dill. They've left your fennel because they were there in the like June, July timeframe. But they're really trying to get themselves beefed up to put themselves in cocoons so they can last over the wintertime. We counted, so we had some folks out on Wednesday this week, and we counted 92 caterpillars of all little micros up to like my finger width size in my parsley. So we're not harvesting the parsley anymore because we're letting them go ahead and eat. So I had to very carefully find, and I'm going to tell you, I kind of touched one of the caterpillars and I swear he reared back like, what are you bothering me for? I was like, man, I don't remember y'all being aggressive, but it is getting cool out, so I can understand they're not real happy with us right now. So we need 2 tablespoons of the parsley. We just want the leaves. So let's break off the leaves here.
On the outside. before you put 'em-
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we don't want any of the stems. We have tried drying the parsley on the stems. I'm going to tell you, it's not a good thing. So if you're picking your parsley and you want to preserve it, because it's absolutely amazing when you dry it, you want to make sure that you remove the leaves from the stems. When they dry, they will stay this color. Even if you leave them on the stems and hang them upside down, which is a preferred way, that's definitely a good way to dry it, they're still going to turn this ugly light brown. They're good and you can still use them. They're just not real appetizing looking.
Mm.
But if you take them off of here, they stay this color for perpetuity. So I thought, oh, we could save these and I could grind these up and we could use them for something. Yeah, that was an epic fail. Don't do that. Don't waste your time. Learn from my mistakes. And when I tell you something definitively, I've already done it every possible way there is to do it wrong multiple times because I couldn't believe it wouldn't work. Just learn from my mistakes. Just save yourself some frustration. All right. Okay. So we need 2 tablespoons here, which is about a handful there and a handful there. So I rarely measure anything in like any types of like tablespoon, teaspoons. I know that the very center of my palm is a teaspoon. And I know if I go wide around my palm, it's a tablespoon. So there you go. All right, so grind that up a little bit. We'll leave this here, and we're going to get our butter. Now, technically, this calls for 6 tablespoons of butter. That means I have 2 tablespoons left over for whatever. I find that I actually just put it all in there because I gave you 2 cloves as opposed to 1. We did a little bit of that parsley, which is okay. So we're going to cut this up and we're going to put it all in there and you are going to, no, you're going to cut it up. Let's be realistic here. Maybe I can. See if I can do this safely. All right, there you go. Smash her in. Take your frustrations out. Oh my gosh, can you smell? You can really start to smell it now. And this is unsalted butter. Make sure you always use unsalted butter. Even though theoretically everybody's, recipe is close to the same, all the different companies out there, the reality is you have absolutely no idea how much salt they put in their butter. If you use unsalted, you can control the flavor profile. How are you doing? Good?
There.
Getting there? I'll give you just your sticks. How's that? There you go. I'm going to move this out of the way. All right. And I'm going to grab a paper towel here. So work your frustrations out with that. Now, mortar and pestles come in all shapes and sizes and designs. So most of them are just like a regular bowl with your regular little handle there doing it. I found some that are in the shape of a pig. It's absolutely adorable. Gosh, it's about this big. I'm telling you, it's a workout if you want to use it. So yeah, it is huge. So we do have some that are really big, all the way. So we're grinding up peppers, we're grinding up butters. Sometimes we're doing things into powders. So like our oregano powder, the basil powder, onion powders and stuff like that. We have the smaller ones, but the bigger ones we're using a lot of different and larger ingredients. What are you doing there?
Good. I'm gonna break these.
It doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
So while she's doing that, when we get done, there's a couple different ways that we store this. I normally just put them in a bag and it works really great. You just shove it, you put it in there, you throw it in the refrigerator and you're good to go. If you want to keep it, if you're not, thinking, or you're not comfortable thinking it's going to last very long in your fridge, it'll last forever. You can throw it in your freezer. So we're doing this today. We are going to use this on our homemade rolls for Thanksgiving. And so we could different molds that have different shapes. Now I would use the type of like the silicone, the rubber molds, don't use the plastic, and put them in there, toss them in your freezer, and then you have cute little shaped butter pats. You get them in the shape of a turkey if you want. Or if you're doing something in October, do it in the shape of a little pumpkin or Santa Clauses or whatever. And you can do that. That looks really good.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So just take it all off of here. All right. Right. And I need to grab my, oh, I know where it is too. Hang on to that for just a moment. We're going to grab a right. See, she knows better than to trust me. Right.
Let me go.
Nope. Here. All the way open there. It's not my first butter rodeo. There we go. All right. I'm going to take him off. There we go. Got a few little extras there. You want to grab that extra butter? Put that down in there. Clean off the sides. Let's leave no butter behind. There we go. All right. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. You have no idea. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. All right. Now, the we have to clean this up.
Oh.
There we go. One, it'll close easier. Two, it won't be so messy when you go to open it. There we go. All right, so now we can seal her up. Get out some of the air. It hurts. Things that hurt. Sealing a baggie. I think I would have never thought I would be not be capable of doing. All right, we're going to push it all the way down. Oh, good gravy. That is painful. All right. Get down in there, you little turkey. All right. So we have it all down in there. This doesn't want to participate. There we go. Now we have that roll that around. So if you roll it like this, put it in your refrigerator or your freezer, and when you take it out, you actually have nice round butter pats to cut off and use. All right. All right, so let's clean some of this up. Now I did have a lemon here, and this is something we didn't actually give you or even talk about. If you think you want to brighten this up just a little bit, you can certainly take one of your little microplaners like this and put some of the lemon zest in there, or even put just a little bit of squeeze of lemon, and that'll brighten it up even more. Now, if you do put the lemon in there, don't get too much. Otherwise, you're going to definitely need to go to the freezer because it's going to make it really loose and almost not, you don't want to get it too runny. If that happens, throw in that other 2 tablespoons of butter that was left over. That'll take care of that problem, won't it? All right. Okay. Our hands cleaned off here. All right. Now on to our secret rub. Okay. So I used to work at a Fortune 500 company before I came home and took over the family farm and our candy company. And to de-stress, which my mom finds highly humorous, I would compete in cooking competitions. So think like the ones you see on TV where you have 3 hours to get it done, get 2 dishes to your judges, that type of thing. I did that. But I also competed in the barbecue competition. So what you see on TV, like barbecue pit masters, that was me. And a lot of our friends actually were on that show. I never about it.
You're gonna have to find
I did. I almost did it. One of my good friends, she's like, you need to come on with me. I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, we did. And so you would arrive the day before. And one time my mom was with me, it was awesome. And we pull up these two ladies, and these guys are like, "Oh, do you need help?" We're like, "Yes, we do, thank you." And they unloaded everything, helped set all the pits up. It was awful. Awful. I know, I'm awful. And then I beat them. It's like really kind of rude, I think, at the end. I mean, they should have just said, "Oh, she's also good," but they thought I was, like some sad little girl who didn't know what she was doing, but I really did. So this is my secret recipe, and here's how it gets kept.
Love it.
So here's the recipe. There we go. It's been like this. It smells good, doesn't it? Wow. So it's all written down right here. So, so we gave you the recipe for this. So we're going to walk away through, and all you're going to do is you're going to throw everything in here. That's what you're going to do. Grab yourself a baggie, throw it all in there, and it gets all mixed together. And then I'll tell you how to actually use it. Right. So first of all, we need our kosher salt. Toss that in there. And I don't remember the amount that we gave them. I think we might have cut this in half. This is the full. What the heck? Man. Oh,
Okay.
you're killing me, girl.
No.
Just dump
Okay.
it in, because then you'll get to play with it and mix it all up. Okay. All right. Let's get our paprika. I'm looking. Where are my glasses? This is so silly. Hello. There we go. Chili powder. Okay. So I gave you all the minced garlic. We're going to put minced onions in there. If you don't have minced garlic, you can use minced onion. They're pretty much interchangeable. Okay. Then of course we have our lemon pepper. Here's the thing, all these ingredients that we gave you, we make. We grow the herbs, we dry the herbs, we convert the herbs. So like our chili powder, it's our poblanos that we dry into anchos that we grind up that becomes our chili powder. So everything on our property has more than one reason for being there.
Amazing.
You have to have value. Not sure I get to stay if we use that theory. All right, dry time. And this is actually, can you smell the lemon? It's actually lemon time this time.
Yeah.
So
finely ground down.
So here's what we do. We actually use a coffee grinder.
We're gonna pause right at smelling the lemon.
Okay.
Like you just dumped it in.
Okay. So so it's super fine. And the reason why is we actually use a coffee grinder when we are grinding up any of our peppers or chili powders and things like that. We then will put it through a colander. So if there's any big little pieces that are left, get those out of the way. And then we put it into one of our mortar and pestles and we grind it down just to get a little bit more fine. So we get that super, super fine powder. Okay, espresso powder. So I don't grow my own coffee beans. You caught me. But I do get raw coffee beans. We cook them to the point where I want them to be done. Because if you buy espresso beans, sometimes they're burnt. Nobody wants to eat something burnt. So we actually roast them ourselves and grind them down. So then we have my secret pork seasoning. So you can use the Lynchburg pork seasoning, but this is our own secret pork seasoning that we make. No, I'm not telling you what's in it. That ain't gonna happen. Just not going to happen.
That's okay.
So, but if you smell it, it's super yummy.
Mm. Yeah, nice.
And then just because I was feeling a little quirky the other day, I'm going to add some red pepper in here because I'm going to try something new. So you guys can do that too. You don't have it. But I was packing everything up yesterday and I thought, gosh, darn, we have a lot of peppers. I wonder if that would give like a different, maybe another level of the profile. And then because I didn't have my minced garlic, I have a little garlic powder to throw in there too. We do grow our own garlic and we dry it and I grind it.
Amazing.
Okay, now you get to have fun. Look at her, she's so excited. Right. But you need to take all the air out.
Okay.
Otherwise, it just doesn't work well.
Okay.
Not that I've done
It'll
that.
be puffs.
All right, okay. Now you just mix it all up. It's highly technical. There you go. Dump it upside down, move it around. That literally is a rub that we use on our brisket, on our ribs, and on our pork butts. So let's talk about our ribs. We do a 3-2-1 process with our ribs. So when we start this, we get our ribs. We're going to take that skin off. I'm going to tell you, there's nothing better than having ribs and ripping that off. It really is fun. A lot of times you see people using paper towels. Just get my finger under there and just kind of wiggle it so I get enough. It'll tear right off. You should have patted your ribs down anyway so they're dry, but it just tears right off. It's so things that amuse me. So we then take this, and what I'll do is I put mustard on it. So I make my own herb mustard. Of course I do. You're like rolling your eyes. I completely understand. But we do grow some mustard seed. We grind it up. We do a couple more things to it. And so I put that mustard on there to start with. And then we come back and we put this rub on it. Now I'm going to wrap that in like saran wrap, that type of plastic wrap, and we put it in the fridge for 24 hours. And it allows it to really soak and absorb into the meat. Pork butt, I'm only going to do about 12. And the brisket, gosh, we only probably do only 3 or 4 hours because I want the beefiness of the brisket to come out, not this. So even though this is like a pork rub, it is really good on the brisket. So then what we do is when we take it out the next morning, we're getting ready to cook these. Again, it's a 3-2-1. So you're going to need 6 hours for this. We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of vinegar, and I have apple cider vinegar, and then I have a little bit of regular just apple cider. Okay, so the vinegar and the cider. Throw it on, and you're not going to want to have your grill more than, don't put it over 220. You're going to cook way too fast. You want to keep it like 180, 190. So if you have a gas grill, it's very simple. Turn on all 3, get it up to a pretty good temp, shut off 2 of them, leave the one on over here, put your ribs over here. So ribs off, off, on. That will give it the temperature that you need. You're going to cook it for 3 hours. Don't open it. Not at all. Except every 30 minutes when you're going to open it and you're going to spritz it with that apple cider vinegar mixture. Okay. At 3 hours, you're going to pull it off. You're going to have some foil sitting on your table. In your foil, you're going to have what I like to use, which is I take apple cider and I cook it down for about 6 or 7 hours. So there's just everything, all the water, everything's got, you have about that much left in your pot. And it essentially becomes like a, oh gosh, like a type of molasses. Yes. So you're going to put that down in there, and you're going to put your ribs down on top of that. Okay. And then you're going to foil it all up, and you're going to put it back on your grill for another 2 hours. Then pull it off, and whatever your favorite rub is. So you might do a dry rub with the seasoning that we just did, or you might do a wet rub, which would be the barbecue sauce of your choice that you may make or you've bought. Then you're going to put that on there for an hour. You're going to, every 15 minutes, open it up, slather it with the wet rub, or if it's dry, just leave it in there. And after an hour, pull that off. When you pick it up, your ribs should do this. Okay. They're not going to be stiff. They should kind of flop. But if your meat is falling off the bone, then you had it too high and you cooked it too fast. You should be able to take a bite and your bite mark should still be in there. And that would be champion barbecue ribs.
Amazing.
I'm a champion. I'm a KFC barbecue judge.
Are you?
It was awesome. We got to go to class and learn how to do it to get certified. And you ate a lot of good food that day. It was great. So if you've not ever done that, I would encourage you. There's always amateur cook-offs during the professional cook-offs too. So they have like the backyard competition and the regular. Take this rub, try it out, and see if you can't yourself become one of those barbecue champions. So yes. So do we have any questions?
I think we'll do a Q&A in the video.
Okay.
Include those questions from or in there.
All right. Well, I highly encourage you to try and preserve your herbs this way, whether it's in the salt or in the butters or make up a rub. It just really elevates your food and you won't be sorry. You'll be so happy. And I guarantee next summer you're going to be growing even more herbs trying to figure out what you can do with them.